Hey everybody, welcome to our Thursday night training call. Tonight, Sarah prepared an awesome video for us. So I'm going to ask her to just share briefly why she picked this video, and then we'll hit record and play it and take some awesome notes. So, Sarah?
Yeah. All right. Hi, guys. Oh my goodness, I'm a mess. I picked a video. It's about time management, and it actually goes, the girl who does it, she actually goes into an app called Google Keep and explains it all, and I thought it was awesome because I know a lot of us have talked about, like, we do a lot of different stuff, and I know personally I have 2 other jobs plus I babysit from time to time, so it's like I need to figure out, I've been having difficulty figuring out how to fit it all in. And she also talks about how to help with boyfriend or husband or fiancés and making sure kind of having them understand, and which I thought was good because that's something I know we've talked about in our little chat. Yeah, I guess that's about it. It's exciting. I'm excited about it. I really am excited about this app, and I hope you guys like the idea of it and will use it.
Awesome. All right. Well, in that case, you can hit screen share and pull up the video, and I'll stay unmuted for now just in case I have to tell you, the volume's off or whatever, and then I'll mute myself and we'll just listen to you. Okay, so you started screen share. It's loading right now. Should be up in a second. Perfect. Okay.
So just press play?
Yes, ma'am. And just make sure your volume is up so that way we can hear the video. Okay, I can't hear anything yet. Let me pause it for a second. And then try to just go back. Let's see if it works.
Unmute. Yes, unmute. No! What are you doing? All right, there we go. It's on full volume. Okay, let's see. Hear it?
No, I can't hear it. I don't know why. That's so weird. That's the weirdest thing. Okay, don't worry about it. I will pull up the video. So can you just stop your screen share?
Yes.
I will pull it up, and hopefully you guys will be able to hear it on my end. Okay, please hold, everybody.
Hey coaches, so I set up.
Okay, let me screen share.
Technology just hates me. That's what I've decided.
What?
Technology hates me.
It's okay. It might just be the connection or something. Can you guys
kind of showing you my little tips and tricks about
hear
time
it?
management and how I prioritize.
It's good? Okay. Let me just turn off my dryer because I hear the dryer in the background. Okay.
Hey coaches, so I said I was going to be making you guys a video kind of showing you my little tips and tricks about time management and how I prioritize my day when I was a brand new coach working 5 or 6 days a week, and how I've kind of progressed and managed my schedule now, working part-time as a hygienist, and kind of just able to show you what maybe you should be focusing on, because I think that's the biggest thing is, as coaches, we end up wasting a lot of time and getting distracted because we're not really sure what we should focus on unless we're told and unless we have a good outline for ourselves. So I'm going to make sure that I do that as well. If you are a brand new coach, you know that you're in our training groups, and we have action items within the first week to 6 weeks as a coach, things step by step for you to do to keep you on track. We also have the success tracker. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you need to be in our training group before you're even watching this video. And if you don't have the training document, let me know and I can send it to you. You can start that at any time. There's no start and end date as far as training. That can happen whenever. If you signed up today, you can start started today. Basically, within that, we have to talk about the success tracker. And the success tracker is basically daily items and activities you should be doing as a new coach to kind of hit your goals as a new coach, hit Emerald and beyond. Also, for you veteran coaches, diamond coaches, coaches reaching for Star Diamond, I just kind of give you some of my tips that have helped me as I progressed from a brand new coach working, a lot of hours, 5 to 6 days a week, to part-time now. And now I will be full-time Beachbody, so my schedule will change some, but I'll still try to keep the same types of structures that I do now. One of the biggest things I want to talk about is time management is a myth. We cannot manage our time. There's no way for us to shorten time, lengthen time. Well, the only thing that we can focus on changing are the things that happen within those time frames. So we have to focus on the priorities and making sure that the most important things are getting done and happening rather than, letting things distract us. And that, as coaches, that is so detrimental to us. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I ran into as a brand new coach was focusing on the stuff that just wasn't important. When I first signed up, I think I focused on the stat stuff because it was easier. I didn't have to worry about inviting anyone because I was nervous to do that. And so I avoided doing all the hard stuff that was going to get me results, like the being fearful of inviting and putting myself out there, and focused on making ebooks, which was a complete waste of time. Yes, they were awesome to have, for my clients, but that was not where I needed to be spending my time because my business didn't really grow until I stopped doing those things, focusing on the things that were not bringing me an income, and I started focusing on the things that were bringing more people into the business. Ebooks didn't bring more people into my business. I brought more people into my business. And you have to remember that. You are your best asset. Don't try to get distracted by all the shiny things that other coaches are doing. Put your blinders on. Focus on the action items that we give you guys because it's all you ever need. I'm doing the same thing that I should have been doing in the very beginning. Inviting, the 3 vital behaviors, making sure I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone and doing things that are uncomfortable. Those are the things that we should constantly be doing as coaches. It's not only going to help us grow our business, it's going to help our coaches who are signing on understand what they should be doing. I don't want you to be creating ebooks and reinventing the wheel and recreating training and doing all that because we have a system that works. Why go and try to recreate it? There's no need to do that. You can add your little tweaks here and there, but as you're growing as a coach, you also don't want your coaches who are signing on seeing you do things that they feel like they would never be able to do that are really difficult. So when I first started, I was making a lot of ebooks, crazy YouTube videos that had a lot of graphics, and that was fun to me. It was fun and it was a waste of time. That's what it was. It was a hobby. I was a hobby coach. I was not working the business. And people would look at that and say, I can't do that. I can't make videos like that. How the heck are you doing that? And I enjoyed doing that stuff, but it wasn't what was going to grow my business. I had to get out there and talk to people and create the relationships. And that was what was important, not creating all this fluff that was just going to get in the way. And to be completely honest, those ebooks have not really generated a lot of income for me at all. Spending a lot of time on my website, really no income from that. So the things that we give you guys, focus on those things, please. Don't try to make it complicated. Don't overcomplicate it. We give you the outline. We gave you the training. Those are the things to stick to. And I think, some of our coaches have said it best. We say, well, how did you get ahead and how did you do this so quickly? They say, I just did what you told me to do. Just remember, if all else fails, do what we told you to do in the beginning. And, if you can't find an answer, Google it. Google it that's supposed to be your best friend, Google. So anyway, I also want to talk about being intentional and making sure that, you are intentional in your actions. So you have all these outlines and the things you should be doing, but you want to be intentional. So you want to make sure that you're not just saying you're going to do these things. You know the process, how you're going to get it done. You know it's not going to take you long, how to make it more efficient so you can get those things done quicker. So I'll talk to you about some tools that will help you with that. Another thing I want to talk about is getting on the phone with people. This is one thing that I avoided for a long time because it was outside of my comfort zone, and I waited way too long to do it. And it was the most beneficial thing I've done, and I really feel like that's why my business has grown so much because I stopped waiting to reply on Facebook or reply on emails or texts, and I got people on the phone. And I was very intentional, and I would say, hey, can you get on the phone tomorrow at 9 o'clock for 30 minutes? You know, I would tell them beforehand, it's going to be this amount of time, just, you know, making sure that it didn't go over. Of course, there are times when it goes over. If I'm on a coaching prospect call, it's going to go a little bit longer than a client call. But on those client calls, just make sure before you start the call, you get on the phone with them and you say, hey, you know, I'm really glad I got to catch you. I'm so busy, you know, I'm running from here to there, but I have about 15, 20 minutes to talk to you. Is that okay? And so that way they know before they even get to the conversation that you're going to be on the phone for about 15 to 20 minutes and they're ready to get off kind of when you are and you're not dragging it out. When you're on the phone with prospects, be interested and don't be interesting. This is not a time to tell your life story. This is not a time to tell your life story of coaching. I still struggle with this because we get very, when I get uncomfortable, the best thing I know how to do is tell my story or tell something about me that might relate to them. And sometimes I just need to shut up. I need to keep my mouth shut. And I always say the more you talk, the more you're going to talk them out of something. So like, you know, when I'm on the phone with someone, they should be doing more of the talking than I am. They should be asking the questions, and I should be asking them more questions and getting them to the end result of either they want to coach or they want to get a challenge pack. While they're on the phone, I'm not going to say, let me get you online and walk you through this challenge pack. No, I say, as soon as you get off the phone, I'm going to send you the link. It's really easy to walk you right through it. I'm going to head off here and, you know, cook dinner or do whatever, and catch up with me in the morning. Let me know that you got that. And as soon as you get signed up, if you don't care, just send me a message, you know, let me know it went through so I can check on it, and we can catch back up in the morning. So that way they know, like, she's busy, she's not going to be able to get back to me tonight. If I have an issue, we'll discuss it in the morning. And so that way it's not like your brain is always going, always on, wondering what they're doing. You make the next step for them. Okay, so that's out there. The other thing, sorry, Jason, making some food in there. One of the other things that I also wanted to talk about, besides the distractions of shiny things and everything, is Facebook. One of the biggest distractions to you as a coach, and you're probably already figured this out, is Facebook and going on and scrolling and getting caught here and there. That's why I've moved a lot of my messages to Gmail. I do a lot of email and calls because I don't like talking on Facebook. One, I feel like it's a little impersonal. Also, I feel like, for whatever reason, it just the conversation goes stale a lot quicker, and I think it's because the attention span on Facebook is so slow. When I'm in an email, I mean, oh my gosh, these people write me paragraphs of their whole life story, and they share so much. When I get them on the phone, they share so much because they're not distracted. And I know that from experience because when I'm on Facebook, I've got a little chat box open here, and then there's 3 other people sending me something. And a lot of people are responding through their mobile device, and they don't want to type out a whole lot. But if you're emailing, they're more likely going to be at work. They're going to be able to write out some more stuff. You're going to be able to get to know them better. So that's one big tip is getting them on the phone. Start using email if you can. If you're a brand new coach, don't worry about all that. Just use whatever's natural to you. But as you grow, you might want to look into my Gmail training. Again, you're going to see YouTube videos that I have made for training. If you're a brand new coach, do not worry about the bells and whistles of everything right now. You do not have the privilege of doing that yet. You need to do the basics first. Then you can have the privilege of going and researching all that stuff and knowing what's next, as far as the bright and shiny stuff. And, too many times we see brand new coaches, like I said, getting signed up, wanting to make an ebook right off the bat. And I'm like, no, we have ebooks for you. Don't do that. And it's not beneficial. It's really not. It's time wasting and it's frustrating. So don't get sucked into that. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. The other thing that I do want to discuss that I think is very important, sitting down with your spouse on Sunday or whatever day of the week you kind of plan everything out and start planning your week and ask for their advice or their opinion, especially if they're not working the business with you. It's very easy for them to look at you being on Facebook as you just being on Facebook and playing instead of working. But if you sit down with your schedule and you say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm doing my power hour, which we're going to talk about this in a second. And part of that power hour is getting on Facebook and checking my messages, checking my calendar, doing this, doing that. If they know that's what you're doing when you're on Facebook, they're not just going to look at you and be like, why are you on Facebook? But how are you on Facebook again? They know that you're on there actually being intentional and doing something. You're not on there just browsing. And and scrolling, those days are gone. You have times and places for browsing and scrolling, but not in your business. You have to go on to Facebook with intention. I'm going to show you how to do that without distraction as well. Also with your spouse, you want to ask them, hey, what's going on this week? You have going on that you might need help with. And then do you care to help with me on Thursday night? At this time, we're having a call. Do you care to make dinner that night, or do you care to watch the kids? And just make sure they're on the same page with you and they know what's going on. So that when that call comes 10 minutes before, you're not running all over the place like, can you get the dog? Can you shut the door? I've got to have this and that. And you're all over the place. So that they know, like, okay, in 30 minutes she has her call. I've got to do this. And then you've got their back another night. Also, make sure that you schedule date nights. That's so, so important. That was like a huge thing that has helped Jason and I tremendously, is making sure we schedule that date night. The date night is so important for us. We actually have ours in the middle of the week. On Wednesday, I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, long days. On Wednesday nights, I don't do anything because I am exhausted from those days of working and double working with Beachbody. And Wednesday nights, I'm depleted. So the last thing I want to do is come home and get on online and get on the phone and I just don't want to. The last thing you want to do is on your days that you're most tired is to be working a lot at that night. You don't want to get on the phone and sound tired. Even if you pep yourself up a lot, you're still going to feel really tired. You're not going to have the same energy. So I highly recommend scheduling your calls on the days when you know you're going to have the time where you're going to have your most energy. If there's a day or time where like I have 3 hours right here where I feel my best usually, like on Friday afternoon, I really feel good around those times. I'm going to block off that time to have my calls. That's when I'm going to have them. I'm not going to have them on the days where I'm going to be like a crazy person, my hair all over the place, and my makeup smudged and tired. You don't want people to look at you as exhausted because you probably really are in those moments. So if that makes sense, make sure you have those calls when you're happiest and when you're going to be able to be in your best mood and offer your best advice. One of the other things I really want you to do is set your business hours from the beginning. If you're a veteran coach, go ahead and start doing it now. This is one thing I did not do until later in my coaching career, and I was kind of available 24/7, which is not good. You want to set the tone from the beginning, especially with your challengers, and say, okay, guys, this group is where we're going to be interacting, and then I'm going to be checking in with you every Sunday, or I'm going to be checking in with you individually twice a week. If you have questions, please ask them in the group and tag me in the post. And so that way they know to go to the group, and your group stays interactive rather than them coming to you and messaging you. I made a big mistake by having a one-on-one challenge group here recently, and I thought it was going to be amazing. And all these failures I learn a lot from. So this was a failure I'm learning a lot from. The one-on-ones were actually not a good idea because the group was quiet because they were checking in with me and not each other. But it made me so much more exhausted because I had 12 challengers contacting me through text and email, and then they get frustrated if I didn't check in and see things. And I couldn't. I didn't have the time. Once you see my schedule, you'll see. I didn't have the time to be doing that, especially Monday through Wednesday. I was dead. So that was a big mistake. If you know that on Saturday and Sunday you don't want to do any Beachbody, make sure you block those off and don't let anything come into that. If that is your goal, if I say Wednesday nights, I don't want to do anything, I'm not going to just on Wednesday night at 6, somebody say, hey, be fair, talk to me tonight. I'm not going to let it fudge into my date night, and I'm not going to let those things overlap. It's my schedule. That's why I'm doing this, and I don't want things to start running into others. Now, with that said, if you're wanting to keep this big time, you're going to have to give up sacrifices. You're making sacrifices, and I know that. I know that I'm going to have a longer call here on Sunday night if I have to. I'm getting close to a certain deadline or things like that. But I'm doing this job for freedom. I'm not doing it for income. I'm not doing it for rank. I'm doing it for freedom. And if I am being totally hypocritical and letting people come in at times like 9 o'clock at night and be able to contact me all the time, then I'm actually being very hypocritical because I'm not exercising my personal freedom, and I'm also letting them embark on what I am trying to do. So you want to make sure you set those guidelines from the very beginning. And, like I said, when you get on the phone, be very intentional and say, hey, I've got 15 minutes. Can we make this really quick? I just want to make sure I get you started right. And get on and get off. And don't I try to go to bed at 10 o'clock. Does it always happen? No. But this is one of the biggest things that Jason and I struggled with in the beginning was no time management whatsoever, kind of all over the place, which made us exhausted, which made us think about quitting a lot. And that's probably going to happen to you if you don't get this under control. It's probably going to happen anyway. And to expect that, I want you to expect those things to happen. You're going to have a dip. When you start as a coach, everything's good, and you usually have a momentum that gets going. There's going to be a dip, and it's up to you how long this dip is going to last. But it's also up to you that while you're in that dip, you're still continuing doing the things that you talked about. You get into the dip, and you're like, "Gosh, this really sucks. I'm not going to do anything because there's nothing coming back at me." Then you're going to stay in the dip for a while. It's going to be hard to get back out of it. So just want to make sure that you are very intentional with your timing and your priorities, and I'm going to help you kind of set that up. So let me just share my screen here. I'm going to show you some of my favorite tools, and this is kind of new stuff that I have not shared with anybody. It's not really new. I've been using it for a while, and I really, really love it. But I didn't want to, share it with everybody until I could explain how I used it, because I didn't want people to have more gadgets just to look at and shiny things unless they knew how to utilize this stuff. So this should help make your life easier. So in Google, you will see, let me just refresh this real quick. So once you get onto Google, and again, I think everybody should have a Gmail account. If you're a brand new coach, it's in your checklist of items. Get a Gmail account, make it specifically for coaching, make it an easy email to remember because you're going to be giving it out a lot as a coach and for your business. When you get logged in here, you're going to see all these little things, and you're going to go to more, and then even more here, and you're going to see keep. And you're just going to add that to your little interface here. And it's almost like a little Pinterest board of little notes to yourself. And you can adjust it like this or like this. You can make lists, posts, you can label them. How do I use this? So I'm going to start with posting. So, for social media, I schedule all my posts on my like page. I don't use a third-party app because I found that I just did it again and tried with Buffer, and my interaction was awful. My engagement was awful. I'm going to cancel my Buffer account. I use Edgar, same thing. I usually have at least over 50% engagement on a lot of my posts, and I'm getting maybe 15%. So I stopped using third-party tools for posting, and I schedule them into my like page. And that's another reason to have a like page. But if you're a brand new coach, you do not want to be scheduling everything into your like page if you're not posting anything to your personal page. Because your personal page is going to be where a lot of your stuff is at, or a lot of your people are at. And if you only have 100 people liking your page, you might only have 10 people seeing it, if that. So you need to make sure that you're posting to your personal page in the beginning just as much as you do your like page. So anyway, what I will do, if you are in our training, you know that we have a daily posting schedule, a simple social media guide. And these are a little bit different than what's in there, but this is what I do. At 6 to 8 a.m., I do a motivational post. So for me, if I'm scheduling my post for the week or the night before, or schedule my post for tomorrow, what I would do is go in here under notes, and you can see I've labeled some of these. And this one's inspiration, motivation. So I have a bunch of inspiration and motivation posts. These archives are ones that I've already used. So I keep those just in case I want to refresh those and use them later. And I love this because it's some people, these are posts, this is one I actually got from my like page before that I had used a while ago. And that was when I had 200 people like my page. So you have some really great content probably in the beginning that you should go back and save, and you have a ton of posts and repost it because new eyes are going to be on it. A reason I really like this as well is you can download it as an app on your phone, and you can upload from your phone. So you can upload anything, do anything from your phone, same as you do here. So I uploaded about 6 pictures, a group of pictures I had found on Pinterest, that I wanted to just make sure I kept so that I could just copy, save these, and add them as posts if I needed them in my groups or something. And then I just put a little inspiration, motivation label. And I'll show you how to do that. So what I'll do is I'll just go in here and click on this and copy. And then I'll go into my like page. Hey. Sorry, my computer is being extremely slow. I don't know why it's not. Copy. Okay. Okay. And then what I'll do is just schedule it. And when you schedule it, it'll allow you to pick the day and the time. And I'm not going to do this one because I don't want to post it right now. But then you can also review your scheduled posts here and edit those as needed. I'm not going to go too far into posting on Facebook, but this is what I use it for. And once I posted it, I actually just click archive instead of delete because I want to make sure that I save it for later if I want to use it again. Something else that you can do is use the check mark boxes, which I have here, and I'll get into that in just a second. You can see where I've added all these labels. So the green I know is for nutrition posts, and so if I go in here, and like for this one, it's actually not labeled, so I want to make sure I add a label to this, nutrition and eating, done. And so I'll go in here, and I'll go to nutrition and eating, and I'll take one of these. It's almost like a bank of information for me, a post for me to share. So when I'm on my phone and something comes to mind, I can hurry up and put it into my little bank of information on Google Keep, and it'll automatically upload to my interface here as well, so that when I go to schedule my posts, they are there. You can also put reminders on things. So if I wanted to add a note that says, send samples, send to, and then put their address, I can put a little reminder on this. I could do tomorrow, but I can also pick the day and time, and it'll put a little reminder on it, and I can make it a bright color so that I don't miss it. And so it kind of pops up when I open this in the morning. You can delete that. Now, one of the biggest reasons I use this, if you have blog post ideas, I have pretty much everything here, is to make sure that I'm checking off the things that I should be doing. So it's like a checklist, and this is the easiest way I've found. You can use paper and pencil and write all this out every single day. This is what I like to do. So I will have the same checklist for every day for this and for my power hour. We'll go over that in just a second. So then it's easy for me to schedule these the day of or the night before. And so at 1:30, I know there's going to be a question. So I'll just go in here and find a question post, which I just scheduled this one today, so I need to get some more questions. That was kind of a silly one. And then what I'll do is make sure I schedule it, and then I'll just mark it off. So once I mark it off, I know I'm done, and then you'll just keep marking them all off, and you may not get them all. So let's say I've marked them all off, and there we go. I've kind of finished everything. Now I want to go do the same thing for tomorrow. So these are going to be the same posts, and all I'll do is uncheck them, and I might have to move them around so they get kind of, by the way you check them off, they get kind of moved around. And there we go. Now, in the social media guideline that we have for you, the Simple Social Media Guideline, you know that there are about 4 or 5 posts that we recommend you doing throughout the day, and you can change those however you like. You know, if you only want to post 2 or 3 times, that's fine, but I really have found that posting this much does help. What you can do before you start checking them off is just make a copy, check one of them off, you can date it, so it's May 19th, May 20th, tomorrow. And then this will be for the 21st. And then you can just make sure that you have that. So whenever you check this one off, you can just delete it. And then for the power hour, this is what I was going to talk to you about. For the power hour, this is pretty much what you should be doing as a coach every single day. And this does not change as you grow. This pretty much stays the same. You just might add more people. And this is also on your success tracker. It talks about adding 3 people. If you don't know what I'm talking about with success tracker, it's a part of our training. It's in the training document, and it has little lists of things to do. Instead of using that, you could just use this. And this basically is a little check mark for you. And again, this will be on your phone, and you can check these boxes off on your phone. I make sure that I copy one of these. I'm just going to copy, so that I have another one, and this will be my power hour for the 20th. And as I go through here, the most important things are at the top. It doesn't mean those things have to happen first, but more than likely they're going to. So during my power hour, that is where I use the whole hour, kind of get as much done as I can, but I'm getting done the most important things. That's a power hour. Anthony Robbins is really good about this. You focus on the things that are going to get results, not on the things that are going to fluff up your time. So personal development, that is a no-brainer. You need to be doing that. So you'll check these off as you go. Your workout and check all 3 vital behaviors. If there's a team call, you also need to be on that. That'd be our team 4 vital behavior. And then also, I order these of importance for the day. So for me, this week, it was invite 5 people to sneak peek because I had started. Check my Gmail, check in with challengers, check with coaches, send 5 encouraging messages. So those are like my biggest things that I try to get out of the way in the morning because that's when I'm my best. After work, I really don't want to be checking in and doing a whole lot of this because I'm just not in the best mood after work, and you might be the same. But do your tasks that are going to involve the most interaction with other people when you are at your best. Now, yes, we should all be at our best at all times, but you know that you're more energetic at certain times during the day or of the week. So you can see that I have all this stuff here. I have added new friends for my like page because I have people liking my like page about 130 a week or more, 200. So I try to make sure I add some of those people. Now, this is going to be less if your branding coach is going to be free, and this is going to be free. And don't worry about knowing all this. I'll post this into the little section, the description section of this video. So on YouTube, it'll be there. And if you want to add some more stuff, you can add them. So that is the Power Hour. And I think that's about it. And like I said, you can add a picture, you can do all that, and you can change it and everything, and add reminders to those. So now I'm going to show you my calendar. So to get to your calendar, you're just going to go here and click on the calendar, but I'm going to go up here, click where it's at, and this is the day, but I'm going to change it to the week. And you can see that I was off today. I actually had a working interview person come in for me today for my hygiene position. Hopefully they're going to hire her so I can be done in a couple weeks. I'm going to refresh this really quick. So I can be done here soon, actually. And this is basically the little Google Calendar. So normally I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You can go ahead and block those off. You know you're working a certain time all the time. What you'll do is go in here, edit event, and work. And what you can put here is you don't want to put all day, but you're going to click repeat. And what you'll do is just put, like I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so that's what I click. But if you work Friday, Saturday, or if you work every day but those, you're going to put that on there. And you want to make sure that you put the right time for those days. It'll put it on there until the end of time, basically. But you can change that if you want to change it. So you can make it a certain color, and I don't put a notification on it because I don't want it popping up saying I need to go to work. So you can choose that from then discard this. So that's how I got that on there to kind of show, and you'll see from like week to week it's already kind of in there, but I took off after this week because I won't be doing that. Now if you have something long like this, like I'm going to Florida, same thing, you're just going to put it in there as all day, and that way it doesn't block off your whole day. It goes across the top to remind you. So I have that one, and then I have one here for Chanel's bachelorette party, and then I have one for, so the new Emerald training. So I had a couple there. Okay, so you know how to put those in, and to get to your calendar, you're just going to click here. You can create a new calendar, but it should have your name listed here, and you can have overlapping calendars as well. So I have the team calendar that I can show or not show, and then I have this calendar. But if I want an overlap, I can have them both on. I can also share these calendars, which is awesome, especially as you're growing. If you have an assistant, you can send this to them. Sometimes I even, like I was telling you, I schedule times during the week where I'm best for phone calls, and it's usually Friday afternoon. Thursdays, I'm playing catch-up from missing a lot on Monday through Wednesday. So Thursdays are my catch-up day. Then Friday is like my talking day, kind of my day off. Now, if you are working in a job that allows you to be on the computer, it is a little bit easier, but I want to just stress not to let your work life and your Beachbody work life interfere, because we don't want you to be slacking off or anything like that, of course. But it's very easy to do. It's very easy to be on your phone. Luckily, since I'm a hygienist, I can't have my phone anyway. So when I'm working these days, there's very minimal interaction. When I do with them between patients or if I have a big break, I get on email. And that's why it's been so beneficial for me to have email and interact with people there, because I have more flexibility of being able to contact them. So when you look at my schedule, you see that I have personal development first thing in the morning for about 25 minutes. Then I have a power hour. So that power hour is exactly what I just showed you over here. So I try to get done as much of this stuff that I can within that power hour. Anything that doesn't happen, that needed to happen, that doesn't get checked off, will move down here into the overflow. And you'll see that here for about an hour at night. So I'm really working Beachbody about 2 hours. If it's all said and done. Because personal development, that's not Beachbody, that's for me. So then I even have my dinner scheduled. This is what happened yesterday. At a Coach Prospect call. I usually don't do calls on Monday nights, but I was helping Coach out. We did that. And I did PIO. And then I had the overflow. So that was like time to catch up with emails and everything. Then also you'll see here that I have something called the Brain Dump with Mug Cake. What this means is for 10 to 15 minutes before I go to sleep, I dump everything off my mind into one of these. And why do I do this? So I can actually do this on my phone, but usually I'll just do it here. And I'll put like brain dumps as I'm eating my mug cake before bed. And I'll put on there like anything that like I need to make sure I do in the morning, like this could be personal stuff, fold laundry, like anything that's on my mind is getting dumped on here. And check, sample, or anything that is really important, then Lauren, email about coaching, like specific things that are separate from the power hour. The power hour is constant. This is never really going to change. You might change some of the stuff a little bit, but it's never really going to be that much different, as far as what you should be doing. Now, this stuff is just like stuff that would change. Now, I'm going to make this a bright color because that's the first thing I want to look at after my personal development and make sure that I do my to-do list. Car payment, whatever it is that's on your mind, dump it off in here. During this as well, I will also go into my calendar and review tomorrow and say, okay, this is what, actually I'm here. So this is what's going on. Do I need to change anything? Do I need to adjust anything? Then that way I have an opportunity to kind of think like, okay, everything is planned for tomorrow. I don't need to worry about anything. Everything is taken care of. I've done really well planning it out and I have nothing on my mind. Now I can sleep well. And so then in the morning, I wake up, I do my personal development. I don't worry about this little list yet. Do my personal development, check out the list, and hopefully a lot of this stuff is stuff that doesn't take a whole lot of time. And, usually this is stuff that just needs to happen throughout the day. It's not stuff that needs to happen in the morning. But if there's something that has to happen in the morning, I'll just kind of set a reminder for myself and set that here. But usually it's just stuff that I just needed to get off my mind. If you're thinking about something, like a new idea, put it down and put a thought and make sure it's there. And then for this, you'll jump right into the power hour and then worry about this throughout the day and get it done. Okay, so you can see where the day that I had off today was kind of like a trial run for me because it's what it's going to be like when I'm off, and working full time with coaching. And it was kind of weird because I was like, I have so much time, I don't know what to do with myself. And I worked for an hour and a half, and I took a 30-minute break, and I worked another hour and a half. I took Fiona to get her shot. And I also discovered, I didn't put it over here, but I check my email about 4 times a day. And I found that that's really helpful because it kind of hits everywhere you need to, or your messages, whatever you use, so that you're not constantly just on there chatting. I think it's really bad to just be chatting. If you're sitting there chatting with them back and forth, get them on the phone. Because if they have the time to sit there and send 10 million emojis, say, hey, you have time to just talk really quick on the phone? And don't be afraid to do that because I was afraid for so long. And I just did it today, and I'm so glad I did it. I was like, hey, can we chat? Because I knew me sitting there typing and being more constricted to the computer was not going to be beneficial for either of us. And it got accomplished. She signed up to be a coach, and that was that. So it worked. But, you can see where I started adding extras. So because I was able to get my power hour items done, I I didn't have an overflow or anything. Then I could work on stuff that was extra. So extras for me right now are updating my blog, my Pinterest. I don't use a lot of time doing this, just about an hour, but it was something that I wanted to do. And while I was doing this, I had a pop-up. So you can actually, when you add these things that you're going to be doing in your day, you can add a pop-up while you're working on it on your computer, or even have it emailed to your phone. But it can also pop up on your phone. And so while I was doing this, it was funny how quickly time went by, and I could have spent 3 hours doing Pinterest, updating my blog, because I love doing that. And it's a distraction, and I know that, but to have something pop up and say, hey, time to move on. So my little scheduled post thing popped up and said, okay, Brooke, you're scheduling your post to your like page for the next 30 minutes. So I stopped what I was doing. I didn't let it overflow into this, and I did it. And then I did my break with Fiona. I checked my email. Like I said, I check my email about 4 times a day. And it also gets people used to when you're going to be checking it. And, right before I go to sleep, I usually check it as well, because then I check it again in the morning, and then lunch, and then in the afternoon. So I'm kind of hitting them everywhere where we could be discussing something and moving on to the conversation. Again, getting them on the phone is the most important thing that I've seen. So the next thing I was going to show you is that you can use tasks on here. I do not use these because I think it looks really messy. I love Google Keep. It just looks better to me. It's appealing, and I like looking at it in the morning. But I hate this. And I don't like how it's set up here. It just looks really bulky. And on your phone, it looks funny too. Again, all of this stuff looks really good on your phone, except for this part. I don't like this. Google Keep looks awesome on your phone. So does this. The next thing I'm going to talk about is distraction. So this is what I want to talk about. When I go onto Facebook, I go on with intention to work. And so when I go to my home page, I actually, if I'm on my Google Chrome, I actually have a little thing here that says, do not be distracted by Facebook. But you'll see over here that I have lists of people. So I'm not just sitting here scrolling, trying to interact with people. I actually have all my important tools that I need to be talking to over here. I have a video on how to do this. I'm not going to go through it, but I suggest that you start doing this. If you're a brand new coach, don't get all wigged out by this, but it would be good if you have a dream team to start labeling them. And I'll show you easily how to do it. JC is on my team. I hover over friends, add to another list, and if you have a list, you can put that there. Now she is already on some of my lists, but if I wanted to add her to another one, I could. Janelle, again, she's on my downline, and I think I have Kelly already. She's on my downline. Yeah. So I have those listed there. And that's really big for me. I have all my groups here too. To organize those, you'll just scroll down here. You can't do this very easily on your phone. On your phone, so that's why you got to do it from here. We'll go to groups and click more. And you just click add to favorites. You want something added to your favorites. And then with your friends, you're going to go down here and click more, and you're going to get to your friends list. You can create a list here very easily, very quickly. List names, save your dream team, and start adding people. So I just saw JC, it's quick. Because you have customers who just bought Shakeology, so Shakeology HD in May. So I know to be checking in with them, interacting with them, get their eyeballs on me, see what they're doing, and making sure that they're there. And so you can quickly add these. I've got Tim, I'm going to add Josh, and you can add them really quick. I can create my list, and then there you go. I'm only going to get the updates from them, or whatever they commented on, and I can actually go up here and manage the list and choose the update style. So I don't want to see games. I don't want to see where they're commenting and liking on stuff. But this is actually good to see this because it helps that you bring up people that they're interacting with that you're probably going to relate to as well. I don't want to see other activity or music videos. I just want to see that. So now if I refresh, I'm just going to see posts and status updates and things like that. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys a lot with your management. Again, I'll post the link to my video about organization of Facebook over here. here, but go on Facebook with intention. There's times to work and there's times to play on Facebook and make sure you know the difference. And I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye, guys.
Awesome. I love that call. Oh no, hold on.
Life is not just a
Sorry. There's YouTube going off on its own. Thank you so much, Sarah, for finding this. I had a lot of takeaways, and I love that Google Keep thing. I've never heard of it before, so I'm very excited to start using it. I already downloaded the app on my phone.
So did I.
It's
So excited.
Yeah, it's so like visually appealing, and I'm a paper and pencil type of girl. Like I have Post-it notes everywhere, but this is gonna help me stay focused of just like keeping it in one place. I love that you can do like the check off list and do the tasks, so that way you can just, you know, make the same list every single day to keep you focused on a power hour thing, or, you know, just doing that brain dump and then at the night, just to get all those things off your mind that you need to do the next day. I loved it. Some of the key takeaways that I had, like for the time management aspect of her call, is just to set a plan and take action, setting boundaries. So whether that be, you know, with your business hours, setting up special time for your family members and loved ones, and like just having a very organized schedule, so that way you know when you're working, you know when you have time to relax, time for, you know, hanging out or just doing whatever other things you enjoy and want to do, but making sure like you do have that list to work off of, getting those things done, and having that time when you can take a break. Because I'm definitely guilty of always being on. Like very rarely am I off work. You know what I mean? So it makes you feel burnt out. So you have to be more efficient with your time, be more intentional, and actually like when you're working, work, and not just like you said, messing around on Facebook and scrolling. Ever since I downloaded the Newsfeed Killer, like it's helped me so much, because the only time I can actually scroll on Facebook is when I'm on my phone. And usually when I'm working, it's on my computer, so I'm not really getting stuck in that newsfeed and just scrolling to see like what everyone's up to. But I loved how she had all of her lists organized. So whether that be, you know, keeping people that are part of like your challenge group in one list, keeping prospects in another list, your coaches, your teammates in one list, you know, anyone who ever reaches out to you in one list. This way you can have them somewhere, and, you know, you don't have to scroll in your messages to kind of like remember who you talk to. You just organize them from the get-go, start making your list and having those people in one place, so that way when you do have in your power hour some set time to like, you know, go and comment on people's things, like kind of check in on their Facebooks and see what they've been up to, so that way you can keep that conversation going, whether it be, you know, commenting on a picture from maybe their kids' like Halloween party, or if they went on vacation. You can just go through that and their stuff will come up without everybody else's stuff coming up on your newsfeed. Let's see what else. But yeah, I love the Google Keep idea. I'm definitely gonna try that out and test it out. So thank you, girl, for finding this awesome video, and I hope everyone else had awesome takeaways. Does anybody have anything they want to share, or any comments, questions? As you can tell, if you're a very organized person, you'll probably enjoy Off's videos, because she does have a lot of organizational stuff on her YouTube channel. So if that's the type of person you are, then you can definitely relate to her, look into her stuff, see what else, you know, what other kind of resources and tools she has for her team, and post publicly, which is the best part about it, right? That we're all so open with sharing what works, sharing our tools, sharing our resources. There are no secrets to this. Staying organized, being focused on what she said, taking action on the things that will produce results, and not just creating all this other content or posts or this or that isn't going to help you move your business forward. So just be very intentional with your time and focus when you do sit down and work this, and you'll get a lot more done than just scrolling. But yeah, I'm gonna end this call. Thank you guys for coming on. I have a call in 5 minutes with a new coach, so I'm excited. So wish me good luck. And I hope you guys have a great night. There's a few more days left, so fight for Success Club. Fight for helping other people. That's what it's all about. It's not about the points, it's about people and actually, helping them get started on their journeys. Sharing your journey and why you're doing this is super, super important. So just like dose up on that on your news feeds, on your pages, like posting about what you're doing, posting about why you're doing it, posting about your challenge groups. Because the only way people can reach out to you is if they know what you're doing. And get those invites out, connect with people, talk about Core de Force. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. Bye, girl. Thank you again, Sarah.